Okay. I learned a different way of cutting out teeth. Now, I know there's tons of ways of doing it, but I thought I would show this way. I've already shown one way in one of my videos, so I thought I'd come up with it. Show this new way. Right now I'm taking a sharp knife, or you can use a barred parker or X-Acto knife, whatever, and I'm just scoring between the teeth. So pretty much what I'm doing is going to break these teeth apart, and the score mark helps to guide where that break's going to be. So the break is going to be between the teeth, instead of in the middle of the teeth. Okay, that would suck. Anyway, so just get a good score between them, kind of like scoring glass. Before you break it, you kind of score it, and then it'll break in the spot. I think people do that with tile and everything. Okay, so one of the things I use now is different. They use a separating disc, same disc they used to do slenderizing between teeth in the mouth. This doctor wants canine to canine separated and reset. So I gotta do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I usually start with the ends. There's that. There's that. Next, I'm going to cut through here. I'll start here. It's kind of a long cut. I'm make sure I don't cut through the teeth. You make sure you don't cut through the teeth back here. So it's got to be at the right angle. If you do like that, you're going to cut through the teeth back here. So you got to keep it parallel. Do a little bit on the inside. Now, and here's my gingival margin. You gotta make sure you don't get into the gingival margin. Alright. Like that. Sometimes you can do that and it'll cut right through and it'll be nice and beautiful and, you know, snap that off, but this is at an angle like this. It's not flat. It's curved, so I can't get my flat blade and make that curve, so I'm going to use my old trusty cutting burr. Gotta get some Great Lakes. Keep an eye as you come across, but I don't cut through the teeth. It's hard with this. I have already, oh, there it goes. And all that does, what I'm doing now, is just kind of make the place for the wax to go. That's another hard part. That thing here. I used to cut using this thing, but now I like cutting between the teeth using this thing. Now, if there was a ton of crowding, I would have gone ahead and just cut between each one of these, but since there's not crowding and most of this just needs to be pushed out and rounded out, I don't need to create more space than I need to. So to conserve the space between the teeth, I'm going to cut up underneath the teeth from here. Now, This is really dangerous if you're not careful. I'm not pushing this disc very hard. I'm letting it just do the cutting. There we go. Sometimes it breaks very easily for you. I'm just going right up to that gingival point. And it comes up here. You can see that or not. Actually, let me zoom in. There we go. I'm not pushing it, but I'm letting it dig its own path. And then you're going to connect these two. And it should just fall apart when you get close enough. There we go. What's unusual about this one is the doctor wants me to spawn at 3 position canines also. So that's something rare. I haven't done this side yet. So don't rush it. Don't take your time. And let this do the work. This band-aid is from this, not this. So I'm not a hypocrite here. Just don't leave your pencil by your sharp knife and then go grab your pencil. You'll end up with a band-aid on your finger. Trust me, I felt as silly as it looks. There we go. Oop. Okay. One word of advice. Remember these things before you cut them out. Especially the lower teeth, because they all look alike. And I just did a real simple left to right numbering, so I'll know when I go to set them in wax that I'm just going to start with 1 here and go all the way to 6. Now, one thing that when they're really, really crowded, that I like to do, and if they're rotated, let's see if I can show this. Yeah, here's one. So, if they're rotated, okay, see how this one's rotated? And I go to try to rotate it around, this extra gum that's there is going to hit. So you see that? So I try to rotate that in alignment, it's not going to fit. So what I like to do is take my burr, get a real fine grit, or a real smooth burr, nothing too jaggedy or too coarse, but a fine burr, fine tooth burr, I guess. And so when you put it back, you can rotate it without it catching on something. Now if you carve on this side, you're going to have to carve on the opposite corner. Oh, this is going to hit the tooth next to it. So I take each tooth and I'll just look down the axis. That one usually doesn't need it, but I'm going to hit it anyway. I like these to be a little tapered at the bottom. You can see here, they tend to fit better and you can rotate them around easier. So you just go through here and just taper every one of them. Keeping a thought on the axis, the long axis of the tooth. try to rotate it. That's pretty good. Now, this is a good example. Can you see the break point in that? There's a rough spot right here. It's smooth where I cut from underneath using my disc. That's kind of rough right there. Just kind of use the dull side of my knife here to kind of scrape that smooth. That's that break point. That one didn't have much of one. And that'll make them help slide them against each other. Go. Now you take these and this and go to your bench and wax them in. Hope that helped.